Hi everybody. Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will dive deep into the whirlwind of drama and emotional turmoil set to unfold in Port Charles on Monday, July 14th. Prepare for a roller coaster of revelations, fiery confrontations, and unexpected alliances as our beloved characters navigate through a maze of secrets and betrayals. From Tracy Quartermain raising urgent concerns to Trina Robinson unleashing her fury on a disloyal confidant, this episode promises to keep viewers on the edge of their seats. Let's unpack all the thrilling developments, enhanced with fresh perspectives and intricate details, as we explore the undercurrents of tension rippling through the lives of our favorite residents. First on the agenda, a covert operation brews at the gritty Brown Dog Bar, wherein Devane strategically recruits Isaiah Gannon to serve as her alibi. Under the guise of casual conversation, Anna positions herself with a clear vantage point to monitor the bar's patrons, particularly keeping a protective eye on Emma Scorpio Drake, who seems to be teetering on the edge of trouble. Isaiah, with his street-smart instincts and unassuming demeanor, proves to be the perfect partner in this subtle espionage. Their dialogue crackles with unspoken tension as Anna probes for information on the bar's regulars, all while maintaining the facade of catching up with an old friend. Could this mission uncover a hidden threat lurking in the shadows of Port Charles, or is Anna's maternal instinct simply on overdrive? As the smoky ambience of the bar cloaks their true intentions, Anna's sharp gaze might just catch a clue that changes everything. Meanwhile, Emma Scorpio Drake finds herself at the heart of a cleverly orchestrated deception, entangled in a Fox conflict masterminded by Jocelyn Jacks. In a dramatic showdown captured in the preview, Jocelyn delivers an ultimatum with theatrical flair, shouting, "Choose now or her," as Vaughn plays along, feigning a difficult decision. Their ruse is a calculated move to manipulate Emma's loyalties, steering her away from the dangerous curiosities surrounding Professor Henry Hank Dalton, whose enigmatic past has become a whispered rumor in town. Vaughn's apparent choice of Emma is a smokescreen, designed to burrow deeper into her trust and shield her from uncovering truths that could endanger them all. Yet, beneath the surface of this charade, Jocelyn wrestles with guilt. Can she maintain this facade without fracturing her own moral compass? Their plan teeters on a knife edge, with the potential to either safeguard Emma or unravel spectacularly. Adding another layer to Emma's storyline, a poignant moment of vulnerability emerges as she leans on Anna for emotional support during a heartbreaking decision. Whispers around Port Charles suggest Emma may face the agonizing choice of relinquishing her cherished companion, Outback the dog, due to unforeseen circumstances at home. Anna, ever the pillar of strength, might gently urge Emma to consider finding a new, loving family for the spirited pup, reasoning that their living situation can no longer accommodate a pet. Enter Vaughn, who seizes the opportunity to weave a tale of personal loss, recounting a tearful memory of a beloved beagle from his childhood that passed too soon. With a mix of genuine empathy and strategic intent, he offers to adopt Outback, hoping to cement his bond with Emma. This tender subplot explores themes of sacrifice and connection, reminding us of the quiet ways love and loss shape our choices in Port Charles. Shifting to a storm brewing within family ties, Lulu Spencer updates Laura Collins on a devastating breach of trust involving Brooklyn Quartermain's research. The explosive revelation that Britt Westburn once stole Rocco Falcone's embryo and gave birth to him has shattered young Rocco's world. A bombshell unwittingly dropped into his hands due to Brooklyn's actions. Lulu's frustration boils over as she laments the chaos now engulfing her family, her voice trembling with a mix of anger and betrayal. Laura, ever the mediator, vows to hold Brooklyn accountable, her steely resolve a beacon of hope amidst the turmoil. Their conversation unfolds in the quiet elegance of the Spencer home, where family portraits on the walls seem to bear silent witness to the unraveling drama. Will Laura's intervention mend these fractured bonds, or has the damage cut too deep for reconciliation? At the opulent Quartermain mansion, tensions ignite as Dante Falconeri confronts Brooklyn with raw and filtered fury, demanding answers for the pain inflicted on his son Rocco. "How could you let this happen?" he roars, his voice echoing through the grand halls as Michael Corinthos stands nearby, attempting to temper the situation with a measured defense of Brooklyn. Despite her intentions to abandon a vengeful scheme, the fallout of her negligence has left scars. Rocco stumbled upon the damning file, and now the family grapples with the aftermath. Brooklyn's remorse is palpable, her eyes betraying a storm of regret as she struggles to explain her misstep. Dante, however, is unrelenting, his protective instincts as a father fueling a rage that threatens to sever long-standing ties. This clash of emotions paints a vivid picture of accountability and consequence, setting the stage for potential rifts that could reshape the Quartermain dynamics for episodes to come. Elsewhere, Tracy Quartermain takes on the role of a concerned matriarch, issuing a stern warning to Harrison Chase about the perilous path Brooklyn seems destined to tread. Her sharp intuition senses an escalating feud with Lulu, one that could spiral into a full-blown war if left unchecked. Tracy's words carry the weight of experience, delivered over a tense cup of tea in the mansion's drawing room, as she implores Chase to intervene before disaster strikes. Her foresight hints at deeper undercurrents past family conflicts that mirror this brewing storm. Chase, torn between loyalty to his wife and the wisdom of Tracy's caution, faces a dilemma that tests his resolve. This subplot weaves a thread of foreboding through the narrative, suggesting that the Quartermain legacy of drama is far from over. In a daring twist, young Rocco takes matters into his own hands, embarking on a bold escapade that sends shockwaves through his family. Grappling with the staggering truth about his origins, he may choose to flee, seeking solace in the hidden corners of Port Charles as he processes Britt Westburn's role in his life. His disappearance births to a secret spot by the docks where he once fished with Dan sparks panic among his parents, who scramble to locate him before darkness falls. This impulsive act underscores the profound impact of family secrets on a young mind, highlighting Rocco's desperate need for clarity and control in a world turned upside down. Will his journey lead to understanding, or will it expose him to unforeseen dangers lurking in the city's underbelly? On another front, Portia Robinson and Curtis Ashford find themselves locked in a bitter exchange, their marriage fraying at the seams with each biting word. Portia's sarcasm cuts deep as she mocks her own worth in Curtis's eyes, declaring with a hollow laugh, "Forgive me for not being enough." Their argument, set against the sterile backdrop of Portia's office at General Hospital, reveals cracks that may be irreparable. Curtis's stoic silence contrasts with Portia's escalating despair, painting a portrait of a partnership on the brink of collapse. Whispers of divorce circulate among hospital staff, adding a layer of public scrutiny to their private pain. Their storyline probes the fragility of love under pressure, questioning whether redemption or separation awaits this once unbreakable duo. Finally, Trina Robinson unleashes her righteous indignation upon Kai Taylor, who confesses to betraying Curtis Ashford's confidence by spilling sensitive plans about Jacinda to Drew Kane. In a heated confrontation at a quiet cafe on the outskirts of town, Trina's words strike like lightning, accusing Kai of shattering trust with reckless abandon. Her disappointment is tinged with personal hurt. Kai was a friend, someone she believed in, now revealed as a turncoat. Kai's feeble attempts at justification only fan the flames, as Trina grapples with the broader implications of this betrayal on her family's fragile alliances. This climactic moment serves as a stark reminder of loyalty's price in Port Charles, where every secret shared risks becoming a weapon. Next, we will delve into the swirling storm of controversy surrounding Willow Tate, a character whose recent actions have left Port Charles reeling and fans buzzing with speculation about actress Caitlin McMullen's future on the show. As secrets unravel and mental turmoil takes center stage, Willow's storyline is veering into uncharted territory, sparking debates about whether this beloved figure is being written into a corner out of the series altogether. Join us as we explore the intricate web of drama, infused with fresh details and imaginative twists, surrounding Willow's descent, Sasha Corbin's potential exit, and the ripple effects on the tight-knit community of General Hospital. From legal entanglements to psychological mysteries, this episode promises to keep viewers glued to their screens with every shocking turn. To set the stage, the latest revelations have stunned audiences as Willow Tate, once a beacon of resilience, has been unmasked as the obsessive stalker of young Daisy Gilmore. This bombshell dropped during a tense episode, confirming long-held fan suspicions about Willow's erratic behavior since the heart-wrenching loss of custody over Wiley and Amelia Corinthos. Her grief-stricken demeanor, once masked by quiet sorrow, has morphed into something far darker, evident in her furtive glances and restless nights spent pacing outside familiar haunts in Port Charles. Willow's actions have spiraled beyond mere desperation, crossing into dangerous territory with brazen acts like sneaking into the Quartermain estate under the cover of midnight fog, and even interacting with Daisy without parental consent, an act witnessed by a startled groundskeeper who kept silent, torn by pity. This reckless path leaves Willow teetering on the edge of two grim fates: incarceration in a cold jail cell or confinement in a mental health institution for intensive care. Either outcome casts a shadow over her screen time, prompting whispers among fans. Is this dramatic arc a prelude to Caitlin McMullen's departure from the soap? Compounding the uncertainty, the internet is ablaze with rumors that Sophia Matson, who portrays Sasha Corbin, might also be bidding farewell to General Hospital. A theory fueled by a chilling scene from the July 9th episode. In a moment of raw panic, Sasha confided in Michael Corinthos at a dimly lit corner booth in Kelly's diner, her voice trembling as she insisted that the only way to shield Daisy from Willow's unhinged obsession is to flee Port Charles entirely. Her eyes, wide with fear, reflected a mother's primal instinct to protect, even as Michael's furrowed brow signaled his resistance to such a drastic measure. Sasha's resolve, however, seemed ironclad, hinting at a possible exit that would tear her from the fabric of the community she's fought so hard to belong to. If Willow's dangerous fixation on Daisy persists, perhaps manifesting in late-night stakeouts near Sasha's home where neighbors report seeing a shadowy figure lurking by the garden, Sasha may override Michael's protests and pack her bags under the cover of dawn, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and broken bonds. Could this double departure reshape the emotional landscape of Port Charles? Inevitably, the truth behind Willow's stalking will burst forth, as no secret in Port Charles ever stays buried for long beneath the town's watchful eyes. Whether it's an overheard confession in the bustling hospital cafeteria, where Willow's guilt spills out in a hushed, tearful admission to a trusted friend, or a dramatic moment where she's caught red-handed trying to slip a handwritten note into Daisy's school bag, the revelation is poised to ignite a firestorm. Michael Corinthos, upon learning of Willow's betrayal, will likely explode with a fury rarely seen, his voice echoing through the Corinthos compound as he grapples with the violation of trust from someone he once held dear. The fallout will corner Willow, stripping away any semblance of control as she faces the consequences of her actions. Picture the scene: a confrontation in the park near the waterfront, where seagulls cry overhead and Michael's accusatory glare pins Willow to the spot, her excuses dissolving into the salty breeze. This pivotal moment will not only test personal loyalties, but also expose the fragile threads holding their shared history together. Adding depth to Willow's plight, fervent fan theories suggest she might be battling dissociative identity disorder, a condition that could explain the jarring shift from her nurturing persona to this shadowy, obsessive figure. Late-night online forums hum with speculation that Willow's mind has fractured under the weight of her losses, manifesting in alternate behaviors she can't recall, like scrawling cryptic messages on scraps of paper found littered near Daisy's favorite playground. If this diagnosis proves true, Willow's journey would pivot toward a long road of psychological recovery, potentially requiring her to step away from the canvas for treatment at a specialized facility outside Port Charles, nestled in the serene hills of upstate New York. The image of Willow, pale and introspective, gazing out a window during therapy sessions while grappling with her fragmented self, adds a haunting layer to her arc. Such a storyline would demand nuanced storytelling, offering a temporary hiatus for the character while leaving the door ajar for a triumphant, healed return. Alternatively, if Willow's descent isn't rooted in mental illness, but rather a temporary snap under unbearable pressure, the narrative still demands resolution through professional intervention. Imagine her sitting in a starkly lit counselor's office at General Hospital, the clock ticking loudly as she unravels her tangled emotions to a compassionate therapist, Dr. Elena Hayes, a new character introduced to guide her through this crisis. Dr. Hayes, with her calming presence and sharp insights, could uncover buried triggers tied to Willow's past, perhaps unresolved trauma from her cult upbringing that fueled this breakdown. Even if this meltdown is portrayed as a fleeting lapse, the need to address it publicly within Port Charles may, through a tearful apology at a town gathering in the community center, ensures that Willow's presence on screen might diminish for a spell, as she rebuilds her shattered reputation brick by brick. On a darker note, some speculate that Willow's behavior reflects not madness but a deliberate plunge into her shadowy side, influenced by the morally ambiguous Drew Kane, whose whispers of revenge and power might have corrupted her grieving heart. Late-night meetings in secluded corners of the Metro Court, where Drew's sly grins and cryptic advice fuel Willow's worst impulses, paint a picture of a mentor steering her toward ruin. If this path holds, Willow could face legal repercussions. landing in a Port Charles jail cell for a brief but impactful stint. Think flickering fluorescent lights and the clank of bars as she wrestles with her choices in solitary confinement. This scenario, too, would sideline her from the main action, potentially paving the way for a recast or a dramatic exit, as the town debates whether redemption is even possible for someone who's strayed so far from grace. Yet, in the unpredictable world of soaps, plot twists abound, and Willow's fate hangs in a delicate balance with possibilities for unexpected salvation. Rumors swirl that Drew, with his deep pockets and knack for manipulation, might orchestrate a backroom deal, bribing a local judge during a clandestine meeting at a smoky, out-of-town bar to erase Willow's charges. Such a maneuver, while ethically dubious, could see Willow walking free, albeit under the weight of hushed gossip and wary glances at every corner of Port Charles, from the hospital corridors to the quaint coffee shop where baristas whisper behind her back. Picture Drew, smug and untouchable, assuring Willow of her safety over a clandestine phone call, while she wrestles with the moral cost of her freedom. This potential loophole reminds fans that in General Hospital, justice often bends to the will of the powerful, leaving Willow's storyline open to countless detours before a final verdict is reached. Next, we will immerse ourselves in the enigmatic world of secrets and hidden agendas swirling around Vaughn and Jocelyn Jackson, the heart of Port Charles. A recent intimate exchange between these two WSB operatives has ignited a firestorm of speculation among fans, with Jocelyn bearing her soul about her vendetta against her stepfather, Sonny Corinthos, while Vaughn teases a mysterious motive of his own yet to be unveiled. As we dive into this captivating storyline, we'll explore the tantalizing possibilities of Vaughn's past, his potential ties to the town, and unspoken goals that might clash with Jocelyn's mission. With fresh twists, inventive details, and a deeper look into the shadows of Port Charles, let's unravel the layers of intrigue surrounding this super speed duo and what their alliance could mean for the underworld dynamics of our favorite soap. The spark that lit the fuse of fan curiosity was a charged moment between Jocelyn Jackson and her WSB partner, Vaughn, shared under the flickering neon lights of a discreet Port Charles safe house. In a rare display of vulnerability, Jocelyn confessed her driving force for joining the agency, a burning desire to bring down her stepfather, Sonny Corinthos, whose criminal empire has cast a long shadow over her life. Her words, laced with bitterness, echoed off the bare walls as she recounted years of witnessing Sonny's power corrupt those around her, including late-night memories of hushed arguments behind closed doors at the Corinthos estate. Vaughn, listening with an unreadable expression, hinted at a concealed truth of his own, promising to one day reveal the real reason behind his choice to become a super spy. His cryptic response, delivered with a half-smile and a distant gaze out the rain-streaked window, left Jocelyn and viewers changing on the edge of suspense. What could drive a man like Vaughn into the dangerous world of espionage, and how might his undisclosed mission intertwine with the turbulent history of Port Charles? Vaughn himself remains a puzzle, an cloaked in mystery whose sudden appearance in town raises questions about hidden connections to the fabric of Port Charles society, past or present. Could this enigmatic agent harbor secret roots tied to a familiar face or a forgotten ghost from the town's storied legacy? Fans are drawing parallels to John Jagger Cates, a polarizing figure whose earlier portrayal by Antonio Sabato Jr. cemented him as a fan favorite, and whose recent return painted him as a ruthless villain wielding FBI authority to settle old scores. Cates, with his deep ties to Port Charles, stormed back into town with a singular obsession to dismantle Sonny Corinthos' reign, a vendetta that ended in his tragic demise at Sonny's hands under the cover of a stormy night near the docks. Vaughn's steely demeanor and calculated moves mirror Cates' intensity, sparking theories that he might share a bloodline with the fallen agent. If Vaughn is revealed to be Cates' biological son, raised in the shadow of his father's legacy through whispered bedtime stories of justice and revenge, joining the WSB could be his way of honoring that lineage while stepping onto the very battleground where his father fell. This potential connection fuels speculation that Vaughn's mission in Port Charles may mirror Jocelyn's in its target, yet diverge in its emotional undercurrent, a quest for personal vengeance against Sonny Corinthos. If Cates is indeed Vaughn's father, his entry into the WSB might not just be professional ambition but a sacred vow to avenge a death that shattered his family. A loss perhaps mourned in a dusty attic filled with old FBI badges and faded photographs of a stern-faced Jagger. Picture Vaughn, as a young man, tracing his father's case files by candlelight, piecing together the final moments that led to that fatal confrontation with Sonny. Landing in Port Charles, then, would be no accident but a meticulously planned pilgrimage to the site of his father's undoing. With every step toward the WSB head office a calculated move to position himself closer to the kingpin who changed his life forever. Could Vaughn's cryptic hesitation in sharing his motives with Jocelyn stem from a fear that his thirst for retribution might overshadow their partnership, or even put her in the crossfire of a battle she didn't sign up for? The circumstances surrounding Vaughn's arrival in Jocelyn's orbit add yet another layer of intrigue, prompting whispers among fans about whether his placement in Port Charles was orchestrated with ulterior motives. How did this particular WSB office, nestled in a nondescript building overlooking the bustling Port Charles harbor, become his base of operations? Was it sheer coincidence, or did Vaughn engineer his assignment here, poring over agency rosters and pulling strings behind closed doors in Washington to ensure he'd cross paths with the very players tied to Sonny's world? Perhaps late-night encrypted messages exchanged with a shadowy WSB superior reveal a long game at play. One where Vaughn volunteered for this post after learning of Jocelyn's connection to the Corinthos family through intercepted intel reports. His presence in town, marked by discreet surveillance from a rented room with a view of Sonny's favorite haunts, might be the first move in a chess match designed to topple a criminal empire provided he can keep his true intentions veiled behind the cool facade of a seasoned operative. Furthermore, Vaughn's reluctance to fully disclose his reasons for joining the SuperSpy ranks to Jocelyn hints at a deeper complexity in their alliance, a fragile thread that could snap under the weight of conflicting agendas. While both seem to share a common enemy in Sonny, the nuances of their motivations might create friction. Jocelyn driven by a personal betrayal rooted in family ties, and Vaughn potentially fueled by a legacy of loss that transcends mere justice. Imagine a tense stakeout in a darkened alley near Sonny's warehouse, where Jocelyn presses Vaughn for clarity, her whispered demands for honesty cutting through the hum of distant traffic, only for him to deflect with a cryptic remark about debts that can't be paid with words. This hesitation could stem from a calculated fear that revealing his vendetta might alienate Jocelyn, whose own mission is steeped in emotion rather than cold retribution, or worse, tip off others in Port Charles who might warn Sonny of an unseen predator in their midst. The unspoken tension between them simmers, a silent storm brewing beneath their professional camaraderie. If Vaughn is indeed gunning for Sonny, his personal stake in this crusade could transform him into either a formidable ally or a dangerous liability to Jocelyn's plans. Picture a scenario where Vaughn's obsession leads him to take reckless risks, perhaps tailing Sonny's car through winding back roads late at night, nearly blowing their cover as Jocelyn scrambles to rein him in via an urgent radio call crackling with static. His drive for revenge might mirror Cates's fatal flaw, a blind spot that once cost his father everything, now threatening to derail the WSB's broader operations in Port Charles. Or conversely, his intimate knowledge of Cates's past failures could arm him with the wisdom to strike where Sonny least expects, using intel gleaned from old case logs to pinpoint vulnerabilities in the mobster's armor like a forgotten safe house tucked away in the woods outside town. This duality paints Vaughn as a wild card, a man walking a tightrope between calculated strategy and raw and resolved grief, leaving fans to wonder whether his presence will fortify Jocelyn's mission or shatter it into irreparable pieces. As the layers of Vaughn's story slowly peel away on ABC General Hospital, the shadows of Port Charles grow ever deeper, teeming with unanswered questions about his origins, his motives, and the potential clash of destinies with Jocelyn Jacks. Whether he's bound by blood to a fallen hero like Jagger Cates, or driven by a personal vendetta yet to be revealed, Vaughn's journey promises to reshape the power struggles that define this beloved town. Stay with us as we continue to track every whispered secret, every covert operation, and every unexpected alliance in the unfolding drama of General Hospital. The stakes have never been higher, and in a place where loyalty and betrayal dance a deadly tango, Vaughn's true purpose might just be the key to unlocking the next great upheaval in Port Charles. Join us again for more spoilers and insights into a world where no one is ever truly what they seem.